offensive line look so far this week, and what type of role have you kind of tried to take on? Seeing some new faces, different positions.
I mean, we're just trying to work through, getting some of those younger guys who are getting their, first start or so, ready for the big lights of the Big Ten football and all that.
How do you try and do that?
Just extra film, on the field coaching, just extra stuff. If they do something and they seem kind of unsure about it, make sure you pull them off when you get out. Coach them up, tell them how they should show out in the game and what they should expect.
Is there anything specific today that you were trying to show the guys in practice?
Not today. I mean, today we did some third down stuff. So I mean, I think it's just trying to get them, schemed up for what we expect on third down and stuff like that.
Brian, have you seen any difference in Michael Manuel as his injuries have piled up and they get closer and closer going on the field and their mentality and work ethic?
Yeah, I mean, both those guys are going to be great players in the future. I think right now they're just really working on, becoming the best players they can be this year and using this year to become, just what they want to be down the road.
I obviously kind of mean this, tongue-in-cheek, but Deshaun said earlier today that, you kind of taken on the entire offensive line under your wing. So I'm kind of curious, does that kind of make you the mother hen of the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, we just have so many young guys and so much young talent coming up, and being me and Derek are the only fifth-year seniors in pairs, and it's just it's three of us and a whole bunch of them, and we need those guys to be good because we want Penn State to be good on the road. So it's going to start up front.
So how does that work? Kind of taking someone under the wing. Is it just showing instruction between the plays? Is it
I think it's just being a good example. I mean, on and off the field, being a guy they can look up to, someone who goes to class every day, comes out to practice hard every day, and gets all their stuff done so they're ready for football.
Brian, we saw Connor McGovern out there practicing. Have you talked to him about how he feels and how nice to see him out there after leaving, Saturday's game a little early?
Yeah, I mean, I think Connor's he's gonna bounce back from whatever happened, but I think he's out there getting the reps and getting ready mentally.
Brian, the last couple of years you've had some injuries and stuff on the O-line, and it really set you guys back. This year you've been able to rebound and kind of cover up for it. What's the difference been?
I think we have a lot more depth this year than we have in the past, so I think we're really stretching that thin right now. But, I mean, Coach Limegrover does a great job preparing everyone to play multiple positions, even though beginning of the year he likes to specialize. But when it comes down to this, he does a really good job getting guys ready real fast.
Brian, obviously on the field, anyone can see the improvement you guys have made up front over the course of the season. What were some signs behind the scenes that you could tell you guys are really coming along and you guys are becoming more cohesive?
I think it's just maybe looks that beginning of the year in camp or maybe the first 4 games or so, they were probably dumbfounded by it. Now they're the ones calling it out. I don't always have to be the guy calling it out, so it's just seeing them take some of the load and responsibility.
Did that happen in Indiana or any game recently or in practice?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana, everyone was pretty honed in on the game plan because they blitzed a lot, but I think they're going to be the same way with Rutgers this week.
Brian, I have 2 questions for you. The first one is, if you could, would you play like that on Saturday?
Yeah, if I could. It wouldn't look as good as that guy from Alabama because big belly looks good hanging out. But
the second one is, what's it like communicating out to a tackle, and especially with noise like you're going to experience this weekend and having somebody who's doing it for the second time?
Yeah, it's pretty much a domino effect. I'll make the call loud, but the tackle might not always hear the crowd noise, and then the guard will echo to the tackle, and then if it needs to get to the tight end, the tackle echoes it to the tight end. So it goes from one guy to the next down the line.
Does it ever get phone tag?
Kinda. I'll yell something, they'll be like, "What?" And I'll have to yell it again, and I'll have to slap the guard, like, "You tell him," stuff like that.
Brian, why hasn't this team panicked? You're looking at injuries at linebacker, offensive line, Michigan game. What is it about you guys in maintaining an even keel?
We prepared all year, so it kind of falls back on your preparation. We know how hard we've worked and how good we can be, and we believe in Coach Moorhead, Coach Franklin, and Coach Limegrover. So whatever they tell us, they're obviously going to keep us up and going. So we really just have faith in them.
Is that different?
I don't know if it's different. You always have faith in your coaches and stuff, but I think this year we've been on a roll, and I think that's really that kind of boosts the faith a little bit.
What do you remember about the trip to Piscataway a couple years ago?
I know it gets pretty loud in there.
Yeah.
I think you can underestimate how loud it gets there, so I think that's one of the things I remember the most, is just that game-winning drive, how loud it got.
Kind of comparing and contrasting a little bit, if you guys had these number of injuries on the offensive line last year, what do you think would have happened? And is it just depth, this year that's kind of allowed you guys to be successful here?
Yeah, I don't know what happened last year, but I know like I said earlier, we're a lot deeper in every position, so we can kind of absorb some of those injuries.
Can you ever take a second and think big picture? You committed to the Paterno staff. one of the most stable staffs ever, and now what you've gone through, and to see back where the program is, can you afford to take a step back ever and look at that, or are you so focused on this season that you can't?
I mean, right now I'm really just focused on beating Rutgers this week, and then from there we'll move to the next game. But I mean, I'm sure when I graduate and football's over for me, I'll look back on history we made here.
I know I said I'd ask you too, but I've got another one. What are the dangers of playing a team that on the record is 2-8, or a team that looks like they're down?
I mean, you watch film, and they've played a lot of teams close. They played Iowa close. They played Minnesota close. Who played us? I mean, they took us to overtime. So, I mean, you can't underestimate anyone because they're still D1 talent. They're still Big Ten talent. So, I mean, you can't go into the game with the idea that we're just going to roll our helmets out there and they're going to bow down. They're a good team, and it's going to be a good game.
Ryan, in a situation like this, do you notice more of a production level out of blocking out of other positions, like the running back and tight ends? Have they been able to step up too?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike Gesicki and those tight ends have really matured as run blockers and really embraced that role, because once our run game gets going, it opens up the pass game. And wide receivers, I mean, you can see those guys out on the side. A lot of times like Irv get out there and he'll just pancake guy, which is awesome to see from a wide receiver. And I think Saquon's pass protection's really advanced a lot this year compared to last year.
And how much does that help when you guys are dealing with this adversity of having injuries on the line?
I mean, just knowing that they're going to be on the same page as us, and that they know their job and who they're supposed to block gives you a lot of comfort from behind.